Lean back. Lean back.
I bought the most expensive cup. So one of the local flower shops had a Valentine's Day like flower vase mugs.
Was that a Coach
Yes.
vase?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It's a cup.
I saw your wife post that.
Yeah.
Okay.
$100 cup.
Uh-huh. Dumbass.
Wow. She wanted it.
All right, yeah. I think we're ready.
Yeah.
Hit it. Welcome back to City Stage Studios. We are Middle Stage. Jim, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic, brother.
I'm feeling good, too.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm feeling really good. I got my coffee.
The coffee here is great. I love the coffee. Ninja machine, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do it up. City Stage, they know how to do it.
That's right. I'm gonna jump right into it, man. Valentine's was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I did not see my girl at all.
Really?
Well, I got to see some guys at Golf League last night.
Nice.
I thought some of them might bail. I thought they might be hanging with their wives or something. No, they chose to come see me, and I was flattered.
Well, we had a lot of people at D1 as well. So training on both Tuesday and Wednesday.
In the morning?
Morning and evening classes,
Trying to
especially the adults.
Get the pump on for that date they had later on?
No, most of them I think were skipping dates.
Oh,
so like we didn't go out last night. We sat at home. We watched TV. True Detective.
Oh, so all right.
Laura's pretty easy going, man. We've been together for a long time.
That's what I'm saying, man. You've been married for long enough, and when I was married, man, Valentine's was very different. Just saying.
No, it still is. I bitch enough about it. I cannot stand made up holidays.
Is it made up?
It's totally made up. I show my love for my wife and my kids. It's like National Son's Day. Yes, I love my son every single day.
Of course.
It's
and you
all
love your
about,
wife every single day.
It's all about appeasing social media, and I cannot stand that stuff, man.
Yeah.
But over the years, trust me, I mean, we went to plenty of dinners. I've bought plenty of things, chocolates. So you know what we did? I actually, on the way home, I was going to buy. So I bought some flowers the day before.
Of course.
I was going to buy some chocolates and a card. Laura calls me up. Instead, we went and bought a new washer and dryer at Home Depot. So like that was the big reveal for Valentine's Day for us.
That's a good one, man. Hey, honey, what do you want for Valentine's Day?
Oh man, we went all out.
I want a new washer and dryer.
We had to go to 2 Home Depots because the first one we went to, we couldn't get helped. We stood back.
Did you not go and talk to my dad?
He's there. And which one?
Home Depot.
Which one?
In
Rockford
Park.
All right, so we went to Rockford first.
You dummy.
No. Well, we ended up in McChesney Park, but we were in appliances. The girl was already there.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay.
but like in the Rockford one, we sat back there for 25 minutes, and the guy actually paged somebody for appliances. Sat there for another 10 minutes. I just
and
looked at
nobody
Laura.
shows up, so
No,
they don't want my money.
Dude. So I just said, Laura, let's go. So we ended up. They had the model, the stuff that we wanted, but we stopped at Menards just to see. We did not like their selections. They have Maytag and stuff, which is fine, but it's not what we wanted.
Married life problems.
Right? But Valentine's Day, man, it was awesome. And we went home, turned the fire on.
Yeah.
It was just
made it nice and romantic.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
that's
were
funny.
in bed by 10.
I do. I remember early on in my marriage, you try to make it a big deal. You try to show your girl how much you love them, and you go out to dinners and you buy all the things, and you try to be super romantic about it. But then it just, you get older, you realize, it doesn't matter.
Well,
I buy a card and some flowers, and that works. But I tell you, man, it changed. Now, once I was single and in dating life,
I don't envy that at all, man.
The pressure is different.
Yeah.
Expectations are a little bit different. And I don't even want to say that the expectation comes from the partner. For me, it's an expectation that I want somebody that I'm with to feel the love. And although I'm not all in on Valentine's Day, I really don't care.
So do you
I
feel
care
guilty
about,
if you're not doing something?
well, every day of the year. Anybody that I'm with is gonna feel that love. So, yeah, I want to be romantic with my girlfriend, and I want to take her out. I want to do cool things, but I do that all the time. Like,
society's set up for guilt. So
So the guilt is what hits on
Yeah.
Valentine's. It's like, what's the expectation? And I want to meet at least the expectation of how I want to make her feel.
yeah, no,
Versus married life, the expectation was, as long as the kids don't throw up,
right.
they got their homework done,
So you got a babysitter.
and the
if you're-
laundry's done, then we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally see that. Even in today, like again, being married for as long as we have, 25 years in July, I still there's certain instances, and my wife knows how to push my buttons, and so
Every single one.
no, all of them. She knows every button that I
Yeah.
have. So sometimes if it, and I come back at her, but again, it, just because you have those conversations doesn't mean anything. But I've always found that, especially over the last 5 years, especially, just communication has been different for us, from a standpoint to where I guess once you hit the 20-year mark, you get really honest with one another. and when you don't want to do something, I no longer sit around and because Laura has a good
Everything.
she explains me very well. Like when Jim Beluch is having fun, I am one of the funnest people that you can ever be around. But when I don't want to do something, I will be the most miserable fucker that you'll be around. So she hedges her bets on those things. So,
Yeah.
And I appreciate her. She deals with a lot.
Tell it to the camera.
I love you, honey. I love you more than anything.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I won't say that, but I won't. Like
Oh my
Meatloaf. I
gosh.
won't do that.
Do you even know what that song is about? Or at least what people say that song is about?
Enlighten me.
No.
Okay. Is it gross?
Look it up
I'm not going to do that right now.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the next episode.
So it doesn't. So songs don't have to be like when you're singing songs and you're hanging out. Like it doesn't always have to be what that song's about. Sometimes the words just hit for a moment in your life, right?
To say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you just ruined it by telling me. Do you know what the song means?
Look it up. I'm
I don't.
not playing
Now I
with
don't
you.
want
Look
to
it
do
up
it.
afterwards.
Now I don't want to do it.
Oh, no. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to look it up. I'm going to send it to you. And you're just going to...
I refuse. I will not play your game. I will not play this game.
Anyways, I did actually have a good Valentine's.
Yeah. Was you did you watch the river? Did you see all the fishermen out there?
The fishermen out where?
At the river in Beloit. Max just told me yesterday there's been dudes out there fishing every day.
Oh, he must be actually looking. I'm not looking for none of that.
No.
I'm not a fisherman.
He was going to buy a pole and
Max was going to?
yeah, it's a fishing equipment. I was like, bro, I
right
said,
off
"Don't
his
ca-"
balcony?
Yeah, he actually said that. I was like,
Wow.
well, you're only on the third or fourth floor. So he's like, yeah, it's just a little bit far. So I was like, yeah. don't. It said it's some good fishing up there.
It may be.
Maybe.
Not my thing. I'm a baseball guy.
That's
You know
it?
that. I mean, I watch the NFL. I bleed cowboy blue. But I love you too, Jim. For the record, I'd like to make sure everybody understands this. The 49ers have not won a Super Bowl in more years than the Cowboys.
Yeah, but they've been to a lot more, which still sucks. Listen, the Cowboys will win one eventually. I don't think it'll be
One?
with Dak.
Our sixth one. We have won 5 of them. Thank you very much.
No, I know the last one was the game thrown by Neil O'Donnell and the Steelers in 1995. I watched the game. It was the exact same interception at the exact same part of the field. There's no way that they would have done it twice in one game. There's no way. But it's cool. You guys won a Super Bowl in 1995.
A win is a win.
No, good for you.
Yeah, and it's now taken the 49ers longer, unfortunately. I was rooting for them
I was
during
too.
the game. I really
actually,
was.
If the Cowboys were there, I wouldn't root for them. It's kind of like Cleveland. there's no scenario that I'm going to root for the Cowboys, man. Like it could be any other team.
Not even for me.
No, I would go to your house and watch the game.
Yeah.
And if they win, I will hang my head and I will take all the shit that you're going to give me, but I am not going to. I enjoy the football game, right?
You would have to get me a tissue because I would be fucking crying.
Yeah.
I would be weeping in joy.
I know you would.
From the
Just
Cowboys
just a playoff win would be nice.
Yeah, at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I feel bad for those guys because they have some talented individuals, but they just can't seem to get their shit together, which is typically a Jerry Jones problem.
Do not speak negatively about Jerry Jones.
Really? You can't. It's been 30 years. You can't blame everybody else all the time, man.
Look, Jerry Jones, best owner in NFL. I said it.
No.
I believe it.
I don't believe that.
It's the truth.
Why? Because he built that facility?
Well, it's a gorgeous facility. No doubt about it.
I think it's cool.
The guy has influence. He's a marketing genius.
Is he, though?
Not so sure about his GM abilities.
Yeah, no, his GM abilities.
As an owner.
His ability to pick the right staff is not good. He has a proven track record of failure in that it's proven, man. 30 years.
Yeah.
Where's the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, he came in.
He's had
we won
amazing
3
talent, man.
Immediately.
I understand that. In the last 30 years.
From staffing decisions that he made.
He came in and won 3. I still believe that those teams were still the first one, maybe even into the second one, were leftovers from previous.
Oh. So we're claiming that the leftovers are good?
Yeah, and when he came in, he bought
Jim,
at
you
the right
don't
time.
eat leftovers.
Jerry Jones did when he like if you're gonna be an owner, right? Like sometimes you gotta take one. You're gonna pay an exorbitant amount of money. Don't get me wrong. I think you're right. The Cowboys. I can only imagine how much that franchise is worth. It's got to be in the 6 to 8 billion.
I don't know the exact place that they're sitting, but I know they're in the top 3 for worldwide sports franchises in total value.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a soccer or a soccer,
most likely
like Manchester
soccer,
United or something.
Which weirds me out a little bit because I know soccer's big and I played it as a kid.
Not like in Europe, though, man.
Out in the rest of the world, man,
that's everything.
Everything.
Rugby, soccer, like those sports are everything, man. Like I mean, think about the Ronaldo, man.
I know.
These guys are making their contracts. They're making what 120, 130 million dollars a year.
I actually appreciated the Messi commercial.
Yeah, no, that was
pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah,
on the beach
there was
there.
a lot of cameos in that one.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, for sure.
We were just talking about the Super Bowl ads. I was underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed is, I don't know. As a marketing guy, sometimes I'm turned on by them, and sometimes I'm incredibly disappointed.
Yeah,
it's like I could come up with a better concept than some of those.
I wouldn't say that I could come up with a better concept, but I feel bad for they pay an exorbitant amount of money.
Insane amounts of money.
To just have the spot. That's not even the production and all the cost associated with it.
Exactly. And honestly, the real execution comes from the follow-through afterwards.
Yeah.
If you're going to put your brand in front of these amount of eyes, you have to be able to execute on a plan long-term, and I think that's what Duncan did.
Dude, that stole the show.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Man.
And they're still reaping the benefits.
Yeah,
from
they're
that.
doing outtakes now, and I started seeing some last night.
Exactly. People going to Dunkin' Donuts that never would have before.
Yeah, they sold out of those those jumpsuits like nationwide already.
I didn't even know they're selling those.
I didn't
That's
either.
Awesome.
I would have totally bought one of those, man.
Would we be wearing them right now?
Maybe.
No.
We could do
because
it.
Dunkin' isn't sponsoring us.
Oh, that's right.
So,
That's right.
I do like your sweater, though. 1914 Club.
Yeah, do you know what that is? You want to talk about it?
I've been there a time or two.
We should talk about it.
Are we going to go again this year?
What happened yesterday?
Oh, pitchers and catchers reported yesterday.
My favorite time of the year, man.
My gosh,
Baseball season. I'm so stoked. Yeah. Although the Cubs have not signed anybody.
Yeah. Well, I think they went on record talking about how it's a slow off season and
That's
it's just
Scott Boras,
developing
man.
with free agency a little bit slower than normal. I'm like, you know what?
They know what we need, and those guys aren't going to budge, man.
Dude, the players want Belly on the Cubs. They have come out and publicly stated it online, in conferences.
All the main free agents left. Every one of them should be on the Cubs. I don't know if Snell is still left, or but Chapman, third base. What about Turner? I know they were talking about Turner for like a DH spot.
Okay.
But Belly for sure. But they have the Crow Armstrong conversation becomes important because I don't think Belly wants to play first base.
There's a lot of missing pieces, a lot of moving parts. And if I'm being completely honest, if I want to talk about baseball, I want to talk about less of the business side of it.
Yeah.
Because it's just who I am. Like I don't like how business impacts the sport, but it's a reality. And honestly, I kind of guessed what was going to happen with Belly. He came into the league as a first baseman, and he's a great one.
He is.
He's got a wonderful bat that fills that spot perfectly. And you got
does he have a
Armstrong
wonderful bat though? Like he had
Absolutely.
he had 4 years of shit, and then he had one good one, and now his negotiation is based off of, hey man, I finally got my shit together for a year. Now I want paid.
Even I wouldn't say that he had 4 years of shit.
Compared to his MVP season?
Of course, but if you're going to compare everything against MVP season, everybody sucks. You're not always going to play at an MVP level.
Aaron Judge does. Juan Soto.
Okay. First off, he didn't play at an MVP level when he got the MVP.
Dude.
He killed it. He killed it. He hit a lot of home runs, man. But I'm telling you right now, until he can get on that mound and pitch,
I think
as a top 10 pitcher in the league,
it would be cool.
Nobody is the MVP other than Shohei. No.
You know, I saw
He's the one. That is the most valuable player in the entire league, period.
I saw a very cool article. Speaking of pitchers, Randy Johnson, right?
Okay.
As a kid, like that guy, I just remember watching, and he was amazing. He's like, what, 6'8", 6'9", or whatever. So
giant.
When he got signed, he did a 4-year deal that was worth like, I want to say $52 million. Now, in today's dollars, if you equate it to WAR, right? And his numbers are astronomical. They're saying that deal would be worth 4 years, $300 million today, based off of his statistics. Dude, he won the Cy Young like 3 or 4 years in a row. Man.
Now that gets me mad at inflation.
Well, it is. That's
insane.
Well, isn't it compared to or doesn't our president say that's stayflation?
Stayflation
or whatever.
Stayflation?
Isn't there's something
makes me think of staycation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's been some weird inflation conversations lately coming from our politicians and stuff. It just makes me laugh.
We don't want to go there.
No. Well, that's politics is for another day.
Are we going to have an entire episode of just politics?
We'll probably have to do something, I'm sure.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You and me will not be friends after that conversation.
No, we always are, but what we typically find out is I'm right and you were wrong. But it's cool. I like talking about sports, and I think that we should go that route.
I understand you're married to a smart, successful, beautiful woman, powerful woman, so you're never right at home. And I'm willing to let you be right.
It is
this
helpful.
Friendship because
there
you
is
get something
moments,
out of
and
it.
I know that about you. I do, and I appreciate that. It has been helpful, and then but I mean, you met my wife before I met you.
Yeah, so, I was friends with her for I'd say about half a year, maybe 8 months or so before I even met you.
Yeah, so she's an amazing woman. She's very rigid in her beliefs, and I appreciate that. It makes for a good conversation, even as a husband, to with some banter with her, and I can get her fired up pretty quick about politics.
Fired up, like using the term rigid to describe her?
No, that's just I think that's an accurate.
Okay,
you don't think
25 years of marriage talking right there.
But you don't think that's accurate?
I would say firm,
but not rigid.
Proud.
She'll listen. So okay, maybe
she
rigid.
is open-minded.
Yes, she is. And if you, as a lawyer, that's what. That's the challenge being married to a lawyer is she's very firm. and you have to make a very, very compelling argument.
This is why me and her are friends.
Yeah.
Because I like to argue.
Yeah. We argue well. Yeah. We always have. That's what. So that was one of my when we first moved into the community, and I found out you were doing baseball, and I reached out to you. That was part of what I liked the most is you and I. You've been the president of that league forever.
Sure feels like it.
I jumped in there and I started helping from a coaching standpoint, and then started doing the board stuff with you.
Yeah. Thank you for that, by the way.
Oh no, I appreciate
coming in,
it.
doing amazing work with me, and then bailing on me.
Well, for a couple years.
That was awesome.
So, but I enjoyed the. You and I, we didn't agree on a lot of stuff.
We did not, but and we still don't. But we had a common interest, which is what's important, what's good for the kids, what's good for the community.
Yeah, and you know what? That was a back and forth. Not one. We didn't overwhelmingly do everything that Ryan wanted to do, or of course not everything Jim wanted to do, but we always met in the middle.
Oh,
always. So
funny how that works.
It's all about having just common sense. I feel today, it was funny because we were just talking about some sports stuff, and people's beliefs are so left or right, and I don't mean that in a political stance, but I'm just like from the needle that they get so upset about from a sports perspective, and it's like, dude, like we need volunteers. We're looking for somebody to sell candy bars in the concession stand,
right?
And people won't even do that.
Everything has a butterfly effect. You know how many volunteers we can get for coaching a team.
Well, and it's amazing too.
One less head coach is going to equal several hours of decrease in playtime.
Yeah, and you've
players.
Expanded that league over the last. I've watched over the last, especially the last 5 years. I mean, I remember when I was helping out mostly, we'd have 300 to 400. I think one year we had 450 kids involved, and last year I helped out a little bit. Dude, you're up over 650, 700 kids. That's just for the spring, summer baseball.
It's
and
a
then
big
you do
undertaking.
fall ball too.
It's a big undertaking, and I'm really happy with the way that the community has been able to support it for so long. And I'll continue to do the work necessary. By the way, official plea right here to the camera. If you live in the State Line community and you're looking to help with the baseball league, we need you. Hit us
Absolutely. I tell you what, it was very rewarding for me. I really enjoyed it. I met especially being new to the community. Whenever I got Aiden involved, I met so many different great people, and some people that I found out that I don't like so much. So, but nobody's perfect. You can't fix everything, but we always tried. Like we to the best of our abilities. But it was. I think it's a fantastic way for delivery of baseball. We got other communities involved now. Like I think you did some stuff with Janesville, Beloit, Clinton, and some Rockford stuff. I wish some of the Rockford, because I know there's like, Boys and Girls Club. You got Roy Gale. Yep. I'd like to see those baseball leagues. Like, why couldn't it be like the end of the year tournament? We should do our internal, but our best teams should then go play those other leagues.
Are you conceptualizing a regional baseball league?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, so remember a few years ago, we actually looked at Little League International because we wanted to be able to be sanctioned and be able to put a team into the regionals and be able to compete for Little League World Series. It wasn't there were some things I didn't really like about it, a whole bunch of it. They kind of tie your hands quite a bit.
Yeah, and they make you pay per team for stuff that we've already got established. And as long as the league continues to sustain itself and the kids and parents are having a good time, I don't see a need to try to pay additional money. Things are already expensive, and they continue to get more expensive. And, a league that runs for no profit and runs on the backs of volunteers like us and the coaches and the parents. Yeah.
No, but I definitely
pay that kind of money.
I would like to see necessary. So like you think about state line region, it's not just Rockton and Roscoe and Beloit and those places. I find it that most of the time, and maybe I'm wrong, but they won't even engage because we've tried this, and they most of those leagues they brush us off. I know they did a few years ago.
It depends on the leadership. So I've had several conversations with most of the community leaders for these organizations in and out of season, and those people change a lot.
Yeah.
It's a rare situation that I've been in because I've been working with this league since, oh goodness, it feels
2008?
like, no, my son was 8-9 years old at the time. So we're coming up on 13, 14 years, I think, because he's 22 now. So, so 13 or 14 years I've been involved with the league, and it's rare to have one person involved for that long. And I have zero intention of staying involved for much longer, but as long as I'm able to have a positive impact, I'm going to continue to do it.
Sure.
But over that time, I've had a lot of conversations with the people that come and go from these other organizations, and some of them are very community-minded. Others are just there to fill a gap, and I get it. But people like Roy Gale, they're still a good league, right?
No, absolutely.
And HCC, we still want all of these little communities to be able to have their own programs. I'm just really thankful that we've been able to grow. So when I got involved back then, it was 280 to 320 on average total kids.
And it was mostly like the Hononegah School District kids. That,
of course,
for the most part.
And now we're, it's pretty easy to estimate that we're going to have over 600 kids in the program, which is an insane amount of growth, especially given how many people leave community leagues for
the
whatever.
attrition every year is insane.
Yeah. But they come back.
Yeah,
they come back.
A lot come back, and there's 4 and 5 year olds ready to play baseball every year. And they're itching to get their chance to get into some t-ball and coach pitch and stuff. So it's a great program, man. I truly enjoyed it. And then we did the part-time travel stuff. We do 3 or 4 tournaments through the Thunder program. I really enjoyed that. We used to do some winter training. It was a lot then. And
oh my gosh, it's so much work. It's another business. That, I essentially have to run. Especially
when and I know your kids and your ex-wife, they did so much.
Zach is still pouring his heart and soul into it.
But even still, your daughters, they were in concessions almost every night. They were ordering pizzas from Pietro's and that, which is not a shameless plug for Pietro's. Best pizza. I love you guys.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. When we order, because we live so close, literally they're at our house 10 to 12 minutes later. That's how fast we get our pizza from them. Because they know it too, and it's an easy drop-off point. Yeah. So our pizza is always piping hot too.
Okay, speaking of food, because we have to change subjects because we could talk about baseball for weeks on end. Speaking of food, we got a really cool dinner schedule for tonight.
It better be good. Laura's excited.
She's been begging to go to this place, and me and Danny ended up going last year actually, and it was fantastic.
Was that the Igloo place that you went to, or
whatever? No. Last year.
Okay,
it was. It's up in Delavan area. Anyways, I'm super looking forward to this, and it's cool because it's so close. You don't have to drive to Chicago to have this type of an experience. We've done things like Alinea and Next and Victoria and Alberts and stuff together, and I love that stuff.
French Laundry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
But then having something like that at that level, right here, real close, dude. I'm
looking forward to it. It's like a 7-course.
It's a 7-course.
Yeah. We've always had a good time. They always have an amazing wine pairing with it.
As long as you don't poo-poo it, Jim.
I didn't poo-poo anything.
You poo-poo.
I typically, and I'm a prove it guy.
You're a poo-poo guy.
I'm a prove it, not poo-poo.
If you sit down, if you don't like it, you poo-poo.
Well, you know what? If you're paying that kind of money, it better be on point. Period.
You don't
get as a and
it's a prefixed menu. You don't get to pick what you want. Oh, no. the squid ink.
Yeah, dude. So not only that,
the squid ink. I remember you eating squid ink, and you just kind of got it. You put it in your mouth, and you just like.
That was the most disgusting thing I've ever had. It was like, so okay, for everybody at home listening, that was a pureed artichoke, and then it had some type of, I don't even know, and it had squid ink. So it made it. They had it sitting on the table, and it made it look like a little stone, like a rock.
It did. It looked like a friggin' rock.
It was like a sandstone, like something you'd see in the river. Like it was real smooth, and
it was so cool, and I loved it. I thought it tasted good, but
it was in front of us the whole time. You remember that?
It did. And we didn't. Like and then they were like, "Oh,
this is the next course." I was like, "Oh no, man!" Like remember they had the potatoes, and we did the.
I remember that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, we've had people that come to our home and do dinners and fancy dinner and do wine pairings and stuff. All I'm saying is, if you're a chef, and I would like Paul over at Abreu or Abreu, I don't really know how to pronounce it.
Messing that up too now.
Paul is amazing. We do the wine guild over there.
It's a good joint.
I love it there, man.
Really good spot.
Like that. To me, so we went to Salt as well, and I like their food, but Breo, man, like I used to like Social a lot too, because they
is that open at all?
I don't know,
limited hours or something.
I think so, but they used to have a pork chop there, best pork chop I ever ate.
You need to shut up about your pork chops. By the way, pork chops not on the menu today. I've seen the menu. There's a couple of things that I think you're going to try to poo poo.
What is
telling
it?
you?
Come on, tell me.
I don't need you showing up and being all poo poo.
Why don't you just tell me?
No.
Oh, this is going to be a disaster then.
No. You can look it up if you want. You got a phone.
I don't even know where we're going, man.
Right.
Like I'm just told.
You were just told you're going. I knew
we have dinner reservations.
When I sent that message to Laura, be like, I can get a seat. I knew she was going to be all over it. And when she
won't miss a chance.
She was nice though. She asked if you wanted to go.
Yeah, dude. I don't have a choice.
She even asked.
Like,
so sweet of her.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
It's just. I don't get choices in those things.
Is that what you got for Valentine's Day? Was the choice of whether or not to go to dinner tonight with
No.
you?
No. Laura got me a very nice card that made me cry.
Oh.
It didn't make me cry, but it was very nice.
Of course it did.
It was
Jim,
very heartfelt.
Jim, I don't compliment you very often, but you are a sensitive guy, a loving guy.
So the best.
It made you cry, didn't it?
Maybe a little bit. The best. Yeah. But so she gets me chocolates every year, and actually she like Aiden and I got kind of a lot of the same things. This is a very childish thing for me, but I truly love ripping baseball packs, man.
Yeah.
And she got both of us a box of cards.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Here's a question about baseball cards, because I grew up with them too. My dad was big into them. He had a huge collection, and I can't wait in order to inherit some of that as well. Oh, that sounds really bad. It's like I'm waiting for my dad to die.
Man, that is morbid. Dude.
That is terrible.
You know what? I know your dad's going to listen to this. He's going to be very disappointed.
I need to edit this out.
No, don't you dare. I will tell him.
I'll
tell your mom.
I love you, Dad, but I want your baseball cards.
I gave Aiden all my cards.
The age of the people that are into baseball cards, like what is the average age now? It's got to be 40s, 50s, 60-year-old.
So Aiden, like he has a couple buddies that they're active in it, like, and he'll do it, but he won't seek out card shows. Like when I was his age, dude, I was seeking out card shows and stuff, and I like to trade. I enjoyed it but I still truly love it. And when you get a good one, like he's got a ton. He got like a signed Chris Bryant from his Olympic card.
Okay,
dude, it was a big deal. It's like $1,000 card, man.
Is that laying in the back of your car?
It is. It is not. So,
hey, man, I don't mean to jab too hard, but
the shitty
when
ones
I was
are
in the
car.
back of your car,
yeah,
and I reached down, and
there might have been an Aaron Judge rookie card in there or something. Like, dude,
you took off. This baseball rolls out from underneath your car, which happens, man. You're a sport dad. Like crap is all over your car. I've had it too. Like it happens, right? But in this particular case, I noticed this is a Major League Baseball. This is a game-used, MLB stamped ball. And I knew where it came from. And this is just like, what, a month ago? I saw this.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, we're how far
I
past
now
the
remember this
season,
conversation.
and I picked it up. I'm like, guys, this is a game-used baseball.
Yeah. Well,
Why is this in your car right now? And it's just, I don't know.
so we've been season ticket holders for the Cubs since
A long time.
involved at least. We might not have been the primary owners, but since like 2014, 2015.
Yeah, I remember going to games with you for quite some time.
So, so as Aiden's gotten older, it's insane. Like there was we used to take him for his birthday, and historically the White Sox series is at Wrigley Field
Yeah.
in mid-June, right?
Well, especially since he's so young, all he has to do is be present when a foul ball gets hit and it's handed to him.
He would. There were a couple games he took buddies with him. They literally walked out of there with over 40 baseballs.
It's insane. Man.
And but they worked for it. They weren't given like they worked those players. That was back whenever the players they would have a duty player for the team, and pregame and stuff. They would interact with a lot of the fans down the third baseline and stuff.
Dude,
they don't do that anymore.
You remember when the Cubbies had
Mr. Ricketts? We would love to see that come back.
Yeah, there you go. The Cubs had a minor league team out here for quite some time.
Who?
Remember Marinelli Field? I thought it was a Cubbies affiliated program.
I don't know.
I think they were the
That might be
Expos or something
before
like
my
that.
time.
I was young, but that was the closest thing I ever got to feeling like I had a pro ball in my hand. And here I'm sitting in the back of your car, and everyone just kind of rolls into
Aiden
my
gets
lap.
pissed if he doesn't get a baseball for every game.
Well, tell that kid that he's got to friggin' treat his baseballs with some respect.
Yeah. Well, he's got the important ones. So like
Oh,
up in his bedroom,
he's got them on display, right?
Yeah. Did you see
yeah.
that? Like it's a wooden home plate and has a plexiglass or whatever.
Yeah, that's really cool.
We have We have some great worlds. He's got some World Series baseballs signed by Zobe. That was like the pinnacle. So he has so on a World Series baseball, he's got Zobrist, Rizzo, Chris Bryant, Javi Baez, and who's the pitcher? It might be oh crap, I can't. The real tall guy, Edwards. Who's now back with the Cubs. Did you see that? So like he's got, and then
this is where a 42-year-old man becomes jealous of a 15-year-old kid.
Oh man, and so we didn't buy that ball. That one he worked those players.
Yeah,
like he was good at it, man. Like he got one from Rob Manfred. We were there, and I see the commissioner. I was like, Aiden. I was like, that's the commissioner of baseball walking with Mr. Ricketts, and we were in the W Club. So a little, and I was like, dude, you should go. I think he was maybe 11 or 12, and he went. He's like, hey, Mr. Manfred. He's like, would you mind signing my baseball? Absolutely, buddy. Mr. Ricketts.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we've had some great interactions with the Ricketts family ourselves.
We did the James Beard dinner.
We did the
Wrigley,
James
which
Beard.
was awesome.
We're getting tickets to that again this year, but also how about the Field of Dreams game, man? The whole family was sitting right in front of us.
Talking about shedding a tear.
Yeah.
I actually cried.
That was one of the
Field of Dreams
greatest
game.
experiences.
Yeah.
So and then that summer, or that summer, or the summer previous to that, when they played, Aiden played in a baseball tournament out there, and they made it to the finals. And the championship game was played on the movie set field, and he got the pitch, and I had such a great moment there. Like it was amazing.
I actually feel like a terrible father now because I've promised my son since he was like 7 years old, since he knew what the Field of Dreams was, that we would go see it.
Dude,
and I've still yet to take him
for that Cubs
see it.
game. We called you the night before.
I'm sorry, Zach. I'm sorry. We'll do it soon.
Yeah. We called you the night before and be like, "Hey, would you be interested in going to the Cubs game tomorrow?"
I was like, yes.
So we drove.
Cancel
drove
my
from Rockford.
plans. Yes.
We drove home that night.
Yes, we did.
It was super easy. I was.
It was really easy for me because you were driving.
Yeah, quick 2-hour drive, man. It was.
Yeah.
It's barely any more than what you would if you're in traffic in Chicago. It's the same drive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's good stuff. I appreciate you guys taking me to that. That was a really good time.
That was cool. Like when they started and all the dads and their kids were playing catch with the players.
Dude, that's when I started crying.
Yeah.
Like I not weeping or anything, but absolute tears in my eyes, just overwhelmed with emotion and everything that it meant, and seeing the interaction between Ken Griffey Jr. and his dad. And then all the parents coming out and joining them on the field, man.
Because they opened up
is
the
what
thing,
baseball
right?
is about to me. It's that connection. It's just pure.
Now,
and it hit me in the heart.
from the last time I heard, so I know they're doing more out there, but wasn't Thomas the White Sox? What's his name?
Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas. Didn't he? I thought he was part of the ownership group that purchased.
Oh, I don't know.
That whole thing.
I don't know. I know they were trying to develop more fields out there for more tournaments,
Yeah.
more activity, but we'll see what happens. Is that your wife
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to call you?
Yeah, no. I'm going to text her.
I should call her right now. He is busy.
Custom in a webcast.
Yeah.
Call in a few. She'll understand.
I'm going to text her back, be like, call me, I'll answer.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing. She'll come back with something, I'm sure.
Oh, that's good
But
stuff.
no, we've had some great experiences. Baseball is life, and life is baseball in our family, and I know it's that way.
It's that way for me. It always will be. I love that my son chose that sport too, because I was never the one that ever tried to make him love or appreciate or do any one specific thing as a kid. I wanted all of my kids to express themselves as individuals. But, when he came of age and he was offered things like organized football and soccer and basketball and any other sport, he could have chosen all of them or none of them. But I remember coming out, we went and watched my daughter cheer for the Junior Indians program, and we leave that game. And I start talking to Zach about like, hey, man, what you saw the kids playing, are you interested in playing that? And he kind of thought about it for a second. He talked about how he saw Steve Sales screaming at the kids and how much work they put into it, and the sweat and the tears and the anger and the Steve, love you, man, but you
No, man,
you put the fear of football into my son, and he said, no, I'm good. I'll stick with baseball. And I just kind of like my spirit kind of smiled a little bit. I
Well,
was like, yes!
from not only like being involved in these sports, but from a coaching perspective, coaching football, baseball, and wrestling, all three of those are so different.
Oh,
you use some of the same concepts, but realistically, man, you have to change your personality quite a bit. And
no doubt.
As a dad and dealing with that and the kids and stuff, you can kind of get outside the box real quick. So like the intensity level, especially football and wrestling, man, it's just different, right?
Yeah.
It's still a thinking man's game. And, baseball is, I always felt there was so much more strategy. And once I found out that, as a coach and as an adult, that I have guys that have the same ideas and that we're trying to get to that common goal. I found that I could coach baseball better from the dugout sitting on a bucket, because I can see the field. I can understand what the kids are doing. Football though, dude, I'm all in. Like once I have a concept, I have to run it through to see it.
At what point did we get into our lives where we found more joy coaching the sport than we did playing it?
When your son loves it, I mean, when any of your children love that thing, and like if we'd had a daughter and she was going to play softball or whatever, volleyball, whatever that is, I would have been all in, and that's the hard part as a parent, I think, is when you're all in, and depending on the sport, like again, these kids are specializing at such an earlier age instead of doing it for fun,
which is bullshit.
No, it truly is, but it's the reality, and
it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be, but okay, the difference the difference between a say a large school district versus a smaller school district, the politics and the competition levels are can be overwhelming. And I grew up in Western Pennsylvania. I went to a large school, and I've always said, like, being in a big school from a sports perspective, it's tough, man. And there's
tough,
no
thanks.
doubt.
I grew up in a really small school. North Boone High School, Poplar Grove. Grew up in Capron, the Boone County area, North Boone County, and we had the basics. Like the most limited amount of sports. I had a great time.
Yeah,
it's
North
all
Boone,
I knew.
And North Boone has great programs too.
They do really well, and more power to them. But it's a stark contrast with the things that my kids were presented with, the opportunities that they had
at Hononegah.
Yeah,
man.
And different pressure levels, different competition, of course.
The social aspects are so much different in a large school.
No doubt.
Than the smaller schools.
No doubt about it. Different world we live in, man.
It is. I like different worlds. But if you don't navigate, if you don't learn how to navigate this different world, you and your child will be left behind. That's the bottom line. You get to these schools, man, and I've watched it. You know, it doesn't matter the sport. It could be girls basketball. If you're not good, I don't want to say good. How about this? Everybody's good. The higher the level you go, the harder it is. And everybody's fast. Yeah. Everybody can shoot. Everybody can hit. The separating factors, that list gets so small. Mm-hmm. And with these kids trying to go to college to play any type of sport, they're finding out that I'll use baseball because it's easy. Say it's a 25-man roster. There's 150 kids that are trying to get to that roster. The coach is using things to disqualify you more quicker than he is to qualify you.
Yeah.
So because it's easier.
Of course. I just want to see people be athletes, have a good time. That's all I really care about.
It's such a building block for life.
Yeah.
I enjoyed competing in sports.
Well, we're at the point in our lives where we got nobody to impress. We've got a long history of failures and successes, and we're able to look back in hindsight and see what actually matters.
All the failures is what make you a better person.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
it doesn't define you.
From my perspective, what matters isn't whether or not I won the game. If I was the best player on the team, what matters is the memories that I built, the friendships I made, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to give a shit when you are 35, 40, 45 years old. Nobody gives a shit looking back, wondering if you won that state championship. That's not going to do anything for you.
No, but I agree and disagree because I'm going to use an example. And I used my son's 8th grade year. We were playing Pop Warner football. And I tell you, that state championship game, those kids, when they're 35 and 40 years old, they will never forget that game. The memory. Yeah, it was. It was the memory. We were losing at halftime, getting our butts whooped.
Yeah.
And then to come back and win. And I had I won't say what the speech was, but my halftime speech was epic.
Of course it was.
So, and I get shit from all the boys all the time about it, but
that's my point, man. Building good memories will lead to a lot of things like that, a lot of successes. It's not that I think it's bad to win. I just think you need to focus on the right things.
Yeah, people and especially adults ruin everything, man. They really do. In youth sports today, you can 100% attribute an issue to an adult because, like you said, and we've talked about this a lot. What happened? What's the conversation like whenever they get in the car and they're driving home? And I've been guilty of this too. I'm not. Nobody's immune to it.
Yeah.
But you can attribute almost every problem in youth sports today to an adult.
Where you and me are both guilty of that.
Yeah. You get caught up in the moment.
Yep.
But you know what? As long as your good moments are outweighing the bad ones, or like we've had conversations where like, man, like, and I'll use that football game. I actually, after the game, I went to Laura and I was like, man, I think I might have pushed a little. I felt uncomfortable, and I was like, I hope no parents like view me differently.
Yeah.
Because I said some things to those boys that really charged them up. But nonetheless, it's tough. It's a tough line to cross, man.
Well, like you said, you want the good moments to outweigh the bad moments.
Yeah.
And speaking for myself, and I think you can relate with this, that's why we like to do so many cool things. We like to go out to those cool places and have all those experiences. And I'm hoping that tonight is just another way to look back on an amazing, quote unquote, Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Just
I know
really
it's going to be
time.
awesome. I know this dinner is going to be cool. I'm really looking forward to it. Spending time with you and Danny is always fun, and we've done a ton of things, and we vacation together, and it'll be good. I know it will.
Just don't poo-poo it.
I won't. I can't believe we didn't talk too much about spring training and pitchers and catchers reporting today.
There's plenty of time for it, bro. Plenty of time.
I feel like we're running out of time. Did you see the new?
I'm going to stop you right there because we're running out of time.
No, no,
no, for real. What were you going to say? Imanana or whatever his name is.
Yeah, whatever that. Was it Justin Steele said like this dude
he's legit.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, like people don't know what they may have gotten.
Well, we're not flying him across the pond and paying him a bunch of money because his name is cool.
It is kind of cool.
It is, actually.
We kind of have a beeline. I think the Japanese
It's not
league,
Fukudome.
Dude, everybody had one of those
Everybody
jerseys,
had that
right?
jersey. Yeah. Anyways, for real though, we're running out of time.
I know it. I know it.
Yeah. So, anyways, any last thoughts for Valentine's at all? For all of the losers out there that don't have a successful 25-year marriage with an amazing woman, what's your tip for Valentine's right now? So
as amazing as Valentine's Day was yesterday, I do want to hit that yesterday was Ash Wednesday, and Lent started, and I think it's very important to, and I know we won't get into religion either, and I get it, but
we can at some point.
Yeah, but just be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Be who you are. Some people will accept it, some people won't.
Yeah. On a rare occasion, Jim, I agree with you.
Yeah, this is gross.
That's it. This is gross.
Yeah.
Everybody have a good day. Peace.
Thank you very much.
This is gross.
That's what you get.